Hey, podcast listeners, just so you know, there's a little bit of a storm going on in the background of part of this episode. I have a 1-year-old and no sound studio and limited time to record, so I hope you understand. Thanks.
Justice, temperance, wisdom, courage. Applying ancient philosophy to modern times, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Thank you for listening to the Sunday Stoic. Last week we summarized the 3 Stoic disciplines and looked in detail at the discipline of desire, working on our desires and our aversions and aligning them with reality, the things that are in our power and the things that are not. This week we're going to look at the discipline of action, and in the spirit of action, let's get right to it.
The Thoughts of Marcus Aurelius, Chapter 4, Number 24.
Do fewer things if you would like to be tranquil, but do what is necessary to live according to human nature. This will bring not only the tranquility that comes from doing well, but from doing few things. Most of what we do is unnecessary. If you remember this, you will have more leisure and less anxiety. On every occasion, ask yourself, is this something that is necessary? Also, remove unnecessary thoughts, because unnecessary actions always follow.
Moral Letters to Lucilius, number 20, by Seneca, on practicing what you preach.
If you are in good health, and if you think yourself worthy of becoming at last your own master, I am glad. For the credit will be mine if I can drag you from the floods in which you are being buffeted without hope of emerging. This, however, my dear Lucilius, I ask and beg of you, on your part, that you let wisdom sink into your soul and test your progress. Not by mere speech or writings, but by stoutness of heart and decrease of desire. Prove your words by your deeds. Far different is the purpose of those who are speech-making and trying to win the approval of the crowd. Philosophy teaches us to act, not to speak. It demands of every man that he should live according to his own standards, that his life should not be out of harmony with his words, and that further, his inner life should be one aligned and not out of harmony with all his activities. This, I say, is the highest duty and the highest proof of wisdom, that deed and word should be in accord, that a man should be equal to himself under all conditions and always the same.
The Enchiridion by Epictetus, number 30.
Duties are universally measured by relations. Is a man a father? If so, it is implied that the children should take care of him, submit to him in everything, patiently listen to his reproaches, his correction. But he is a bad father. Are you entitled to a good father? No, only to a father. Is a brother unjust? Well, keep your own situation just towards him. Consider not what he does, but what you are able to do to keep your own faculty of choice in a state conformable to nature. For another will not hurt you unless you please. You will then be hurt when you think you are hurt. In this manner you will find, whether you are a neighbor, a citizen, a general, there are corresponding duties dealing with your relations with others.
So in the first reading, Marcus reminds us to get rid of unnecessary things in our lives. Stop doing unnecessary activities and focus on the things that are necessary for human nature. So what we're doing here is ensuring that our actions benefit humanity, which is basically Stoic philanthropy. And this stems from the virtue of justice. And he gives some really good advice here. The best part that I took from this reading is when he says, always ask yourself, if what you're doing is necessary. Is what I'm doing necessary, or am I wasting time here? Do I really need to look at YouTube today, or should I do something a little more philanthropic, like call my mom, who I haven't talked to in 2 years, or whatever it may be? Seneca reminds us that philosophy is not about speaking and writing, but about living. It's about action. We need to uproot our unnecessary desires, like we talked about last week, and live out our philosophy day by day. We set our internal standards and we live up to them and align ourselves from top to bottom so that we live up to our ideals and we're the same person in all circumstances. Whether we're alone or in a crowd, we're the same person. And our desires, our aversions, our actions, all of that lines up. One of the nice things about Stoicism is it's about consistency. Helps you to be a consistent person in your actions, in your thoughts, in your desires. Epictetus then says that we are citizens of the world, we are sons, we are daughters, and because of that we must tend to our duties. So as children, we need to look after our parents. Even if they're not the greatest people in the world, we need to be the bigger person. Even if someone doesn't deserve your kindness, they should get it from you anyway. So no matter what your role in the world, we all have to deal with people, and we should do so with kindness. So as the holidays rapidly approach, remember, no matter where the family conversation goes at the dinner table, you are trying to act stoically. You are going to react with kindness and with love and compassion for your fellow human beings, even if they say things that are really annoying. You can correct them. But don't lose your temper. Be happy, be loving, and remember, Stoicism is not just about sitting there and talking about things. It's about action. All right? I'm going to cut this short. Have a great week and Carpe Diem.
Like the show? Help support the Sunday Stoic by rating us on iTunes. Volunteer to read, suggest content, or send comments to sundaystoic@gmail.com. Thanks, and Carpe Diem.
My time is my time.